Hey there. This is a video presentation because I had a client come today with a kilt that does not fit him. It was made for him, but it's far too large, and there's a number of, I'm going to call them faults with it. And rather than write reams and reams of data for him to send to his pipe major, I thought I'd just send this video, explain it this way. I'll attach it to the quote. It's outwardly, it's beautifully made. But there's a number of things. His waist measures 43. This is 47, which is far too big. And he says that people have been joking about him putting braces, suspenders on, or wearing a belt. If you need either of those things, the kilt simply doesn't fit, right? Sure, you can move straps and buckles, but to that extent, these buckles would be back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pleats in, which means that either he wears the kilt off center or he wears it centered, and these two straps, which are strictly for the sporran strap, they're not for the waist belt, are massively out of center and look odd, or he's wearing these things centered and the apron is asymmetrical because it's way the hell, it's not centered on the front, it's way the hell farther over on one side. So what I've proposed, and I've discussed all of this with him, is that I reduce the size of the aprons, and I don't cut cloth off. The extra cloth, these aprons become more narrow. The extra cloth gets put in the bank, so to speak, in the deep pleat here, and also in the fold over here. Same thing on this side. We reduce the size of the front aprons. The second thing we do is that we're going to remove this lower strap and buckle in the right hip because, frankly, it does nothing. It's an excrescence. It's a holdover from an earlier time. Second thing I want to do is lower, rather than shift the things over, lower these strap and buckles, because the optimum drop below the top of the kilt, in this case, is 2.5 inches. Right now, it's at 1 3/4. By dropping these relative to the length of the kilt, it has a net effect of shortening the kilt by raising it without removing material. That's the second thing. The third thing is that to do this, all of this, I have to take off the top band, I have to undo the aprons, press them flat, and then sew them up in their new dimensions. And to that end, I have to replace the canvas, because it would be criminal negligence of me to do all of that work and then leave this travesty inside. Because I laugh a bit, because I could almost believe that somebody's been studying my methods, but they haven't got it right because they don't understand the underlying principles. This is a proper piece of canvas, by my opinion. It's not tailor's canvas, it's just 100% cotton canvas. But this should be one piece, properly from buckle to strap, should be one unbroken piece. This isn't, and it's sewn together, and that's not sewn together particularly well. So I want to replace this. I consider it imperative to replace this, because if I do the canvas properly, that by itself is going to improve the fit. I cannot, in good conscience, leave this train wreck sitting inside. I might be able to reuse the lining, but I would prefer not to, because again, we're lowering that buttonhole, which means this buttonhole aperture is now going to be practically 4 inches long. I would much rather replace it with frankly, a better lining material, which is this cotton flannelette that I use, for 2 reasons. 3 reasons. A, it'll look proper inside, and you won't have this weird aperture because of the way I've changed the buttonhole. 2, it breathes better, so you won't be as hot on a hot day. 3, the hand of this, the texture of this, helps keep your shirt tucked in. Shiny stuff like this, you walk and your shirt comes untucked. So there you go. There's my reasons for so doing, and my quote is attached to this video, and I await your instructions. I will save this person's label and transpose it to the new lining, because I'm not going to put my label on someone else's work. Otherwise, it's a lovely looking piece of kit, but there's just to get it right, to make it fit properly, we have to make those changes. And let's just improve those shortcomings that we saw. Thank you.